Welcome one, welcome all to Skyfactory 3.0. My name's Zykaris and I'll be your guide today in my factory of fun times and automation. Let me take you through and show you what I've built so far. I have spent quite a bit of time on this and quite frankly I think I should be a lot further, but we will deal with that at a new day. So this is the top layer of my factory. As you can see, there's a little bit of diversity going on here. Over to our left, we have an auto rain collection system. 64. We have 64 barrels in a series that are all pipe worked underneath, which I will get to in a moment. And they collect all the rain that I receive every day. And since I'm in a rainforest, I get rain a lot. Over here we have a similar function. This is a auto dirt crafter. In this box here we place all of our leaves, all of our wood shavings or chunks or whatever you call them. And in this box we receive all of our dirt. Beautiful, wonderful. Right next to it we've got a coke oven for creosote oil, which is pretty much full right now. I'm not going to deal with that at the moment. And then next to it, this was where I had originally started building out some of my first bits of automation. Up on this top level up here, I had originally had a bunch of auto sieves and auto hammers that were like towered on top of each other. And it looked kind of cool. It was pretty cool. I was going to do a whole design around it. I was going to have them all going around this area. And then I realized, well, I didn't like it. So I then put all of that down on this middle floor here. This is my in-between floor. And as you can see over here, we've got our series of auto hammers feeding our auto sieves, which also have, this is crap, what is this? A mechanical user, sorry. And I fill this with my orange juice, and I can like speed these guys up quite a bit. However, I'm really low on carrots, or sorry, not carrot, orange juice, carrot juice. I'm really low on carrots, so I unfortunately, oh my god, I almost fell off. Can't do that. This is lagging terribly because this is my first time recording, so please bear with me. I do apologize. Now, coming back over here, underneath my rain collection, you can see the series of pipeworks and fluid transfer nodes that takes all of that water. It first siphons it into this fluid tank where it can sort of store up a little bit, and then it underground pipes it up into the bottom of these 12, 5, 10, 20 barrels where we are making clay. So in here we have all of our dust that goes into the buckets once they fill up with water. And then from here we have all of our clay that pulls out. Wonderful. It works really, really well actually, I gotta say. And then here's all the pipe work for the dirt, the auto dirt function. It's not nearly as sophisticated as my water collection and clay automation. Over here we've got just a simple little farm with a few little horses and a sheep and a couple of rabbits. I did have another farm previously with a bunch of chickens and I got rid of it because it was just annoying and I hated all the chicken shit. I do apologize for this frame rate. It's fucking terrible. I'm gonna have to fix that. Alright, so now we come over to the bread and butter. I started with one searing forge up there on the top floor, but I ended up building one for each of the metal types so that I could make casted blocks of metal for all the copper, iron, gold, so on and so forth. However, I didn't want to have to like move stuff, so this auto hammer, auto sieve function that you see all over here is also being piped underneath to a third floor, all of which gets auto filtered right below here actually. I think we can see it right through here. No, we can't. So just under here, there's a series of boxes and filters that filter out all the items that we want to store in this chest, which is filling up fast. And then all of the ores get funneled over here underneath this crate. There is a an auto crafter, which crafts all of those metal ores into metal chunks, and then using a series of filters, we specifically choose certain ore types to get filtered into these chests, which then get pumped up into the searing forges, which then obviously create our ingots, our casted blocks, which get piped into these boxes, which again also gets piped over into this box here. So you can see all of those blocks are being just funneled right into one final storage crate. And then this crate here is hooked up to a trash can, so anything I have too much of, say I have too much bone meal and I don't want to keep putting it into my storage, I'll just throw that in there and it will slowly throw them out for me over time. I have a atomic reconstructor here because I didn't really have anywhere else to put it at the moment and I needed to make some soul sand. Up here we have our computer filled with all of our items. Every single item I've collected I've placed in there except for what's on my person at the moment. And I've got so much space I can't even start touching this second 64 kilobyte 64 whatever big one. Here we have our kolache collector, we'll call it. I only have 2 cloches set up so far, but I have a bunch of them built and ready to go. I'm slowly working on getting my essence seeds to start making all the different things that I'm going to need specifically. Whenever I'm short on a little bit of, like, say, diamond or something specific, I have a couple of sieves I can screw around with, but realistically, those will get taken down soon. We have our intermediate furnaces here for smelting all of our smelting needs. And then I built this farm for getting a little bit of food, a little bit of grain, and then starting some of my mystical agriculture, but I realized after the fact that this is wasteful work. And realistically, if you can get a close running as soon as possible, you can skip all of this. This is completely unnecessary. Same with this, but I needed the carrots right away, so I just started planting them. I built this extremely large, it's actually a 9 by 9 dirt block with in the very center a growth cube, and I could just come in here whenever I need wood, I slap down saplings like there's nobody's business, come back in 5 minutes and I got a forest full of wood and leaves. Go take them all down, with your vein miner, boom, come up here, clean up any messes. I made that ring of cobblestone up there. There's some torches up there just in case I don't get to it fast enough and, night comes and we don't want any mobs spawning up here. Because we have a special spot for our mobs and I'm going to show you that next. So right here we have a beautiful elevator which allows us to go to our second floor, which I've already showed you. This is our floor between the floors, I call it, or the mechanical room. Down below, this is where I was telling you, this is our loot collection room, essentially. All of the loot gets filtered down into these chests. Oh my god, I'm hungry. Oh my god, I'm hungry. Filtered down throughout all of the storage crates, pushed along till we get over here. And this chest collects everything, but we start filtering everything through here. This filter takes bone meal, cactus seeds, prosperity shards, cocoa beans, and ancient spores, and pipes it up this way, all the way over, all the way up. And then this one takes all of our dusts and all of our gems and all that stuff, and it also pipes up. And they actually go to the same chest, but by separating these two, we actually create a more efficient item transfer setup. So these items aren't competing with one another. They actually, or at least they don't compete until they get to the end of the line. They're not competing with who gets in line first. It gets 2 outputs to 1 input. It's a little bit slightly more efficient, but we could improve that too. I didn't realize I had 2 filters here unnecessarily, but whatever. This is the filter that allows for all of our ore to get passed through into our smeltery, so we don't have to worry about trying to take care of that manually. All of that's automated. Over here, I've got a few more auto hammers and sieves. These are just taking gravel and pumping it through. What diamond sieves, so that we can get more, diamond, gold, glowstone, stuff like that. And over here is my latest creation. This is actually an auto obsidian creator. It doesn't work the greatest. I need to put a little bit more work into it, simply because I don't have enough lava output right now. I've been taking the lava from my smeltery, since it only works at a certain efficiency rating, and quite frankly, it was making more lava than I could use. But this is not taking it enough either. So, oh, by the way, there's the rain again. You can hear it going. So that's the third floor, or the loot collection floor. And oh yeah, over here, this is the water that goes up into our clay collection. The reason I have it stacked down 2 levels is because I didn't want it to interfere with the output. I find that transfer pipes that interconnect, even if you're using filters to determine what goes where. Oh, that hasn't loaded yet. Weird. Even if... What happened? Oh, something. That's not right. Something's weird there. Anyways, even if you have filters to determine what items go where, I find that having transfer pipes, just basic transfer pipes that are interconnected, that shouldn't be, say inputs and outputs that are interconnected, could potentially cause a jam in your system should there be a blockage somewhere. It could actually cause a backup of items to get stored in there, and that's not good. You don't want that. So down here, I'm lagging really bad all of a sudden. I do apologize. Down here we have our mob spawner, and this big box spawns a ton of enemies, like more than I could have handled, and as a result, I needed to build this whole ugly loot sorting filtration system just to take all the garbage items and put them into trash cans, keep the items I wanted, and then also filter out and craft up the loot bags, as you can see here, kind of, as I break in my... as my frame rate drops to nothing. Oh, this is terrible. And then to our right, if ever I turn, here we go. This is our nuclear reactor, which is massive, by the way. Like I can't even touch the power. Like I'm producing 4K RF per tick, no problem, and I'm not even touching any of it. So here we have all of our epic loot bags come out. In the center here we have like common, uncommon, rare, and they get crafted through these auto crafters up to epics. I do my own legendaries if I really want them, but for the most part, I don't. Here we have a bunch more garbage that I kind of keep for the sake of it might be useful at some point. And the rest of this is just a big filtration system so that I don't get a big jam up. In here we have our Inferium Essence, Ender Pearls, and redstone, and we also have some rotten flesh being compressed in here because rotten flesh could be useful. We could turn that into leather and stuff. So that's my walkthrough, and I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, come by again. Thanks.